gentlemen, please welcome your compere for tonight, Michael Dodds!
It's been so long since I did this that, yeah, right enough, they're starting to forget who I am. Anyway, hi, welcome to County Comedy Club. Week 10, I'll be excited for this. Week 10. When I say comedy, you say what? Comedy. What? Comedy. What? When I say laughter, you say ready. Laughter. Ready. Laughter. Ready. I fucking love doing that. It's brilliant. I love doing that. It's just the back and forth thing that can make even the most depressing of subject matter sound really fun, right? Like, when I say drinking, you say problem. Ready? Drinking! Problem! Drinking! Problem! See? Sounds like a blast. When I say weekend, you say custody. Ready? Weekend! Custody! Weekend! Custody! Oh man. Can't wait to get me some of that. Anyway, yes, indeed, welcome to County Comedy Club Week 10, the last one of the term. Can we get a simultaneous cheer and ah for that, if you can manage it? I imagine it's sort of a woo! If we want to get that a go. Thank you. Very, very enthusiastic man in the second row there. What's your name, sir? Adam. Hi. Nice to meet you. The entire row laughs, as they know that I actually know this man quite well. So, Adam, Week 10. Another term has gone by slowly into the night, and the real world has gotten another step to terrifying reality. Am I right? Am I right? Just me? Okay. Have you had any deadlines this weekend?
No.
You've been very lucky. No deadlines at all.
Well, I say lucky,
It's not really lucky, is it? That's just...
It's lucky this week.
It's lucky for this week in particular, but in a month's time, you'll be... In a month's time when you're basically just 50% man, 50% energy drink. And you're just crying tears, which is energy drink, and it's going into a little cup with a straw in it, which is going straight back into your mouth. Because that's, you know, that's a waste of energy drink, really, isn't it? If it's spilled tears. Sorry, I'm being very cynical about this. I'm also a third year. I've got also a third year. Didn't even ask you. Hey, just know the guy. Yeah. I've had deadlines this week, and they're all in tomorrow, and I've done them, which is why I'm here. But I've got a dissertation over the Easter break. Anyone, give us a cheer if you're working on a dissertation at the moment. Suspiciously few people. Either a very young audience, or everyone is actually very vigilant in third year this year, and they're actually home doing their fucking work, as opposed to coming to free comedy clubs on a Thursday. What was that cheer at the back there? Raise your hand, madam. Hiya. What's your name, madam?
Camille.
Camille?
Yes.
Hi. What's your dissertation on, can I ask?
The Algerian War.
The Algerian War. Comedy gold. The Algerian Massacre by the Turks. Watch out, the gold mine is indeed going to collapse this evening of comedy. Sorry, Camille, I'm just going to leave that to the side for now.
That's okay.
If that's alright. Anyone else working on a dissertation at the moment? Do not be. You submitted yours today? Oh, brilliant. Congratulations, sir. Round of applause for... Sorry, what's your name? You guys are going to have to stop doing this. You're very much breaking the illusion of free student comedy for the rest of this week. What was your dissertation on?
Gender constructions within Adventure Time.
You did a dissertation on Adventure Time.
Yes, I did. It's a real thing.
It's not really the Algerian War, is it? I mean, I hope not. They might have done one or two episodes where the two sort of linked, but I've never watched Adventure Time, nor was I in the Algerian War. Thank God. So you got that in today then, relieved?
Partially, yeah.
Partially?
Yeah, I don't think I've done very well, so...
Oh, I'm sure you've done very well. I mean, if you fuck up a dissertation on Adventure Time, let's be honest. There's no real place in this world for it. I'm sorry to tell you that, but yeah, Rob, as I've told you every day for the past year, the person I know, thank you, second row. Yeah, what else has been happening this week? We've had Jeremy Clarkson this week kicked out of the BBC temporarily. Woo! That's good, isn't it? I don't really care about the whole Clarkson thing. I really don't. Like, I can take it or leave it, to be honest. I'm sort of a bit sort of, I don't know. If there's one thing that's good that's come with this whole affair, and it's that I know what the word fracasse means. Had no idea what a fracasse was. Like, Jeremy Clarkson has been suspended from the BBC after a fracas with his producer. When I first read that story, I was like, is that like a tapas dish? Is it some kind of drink? Is it like a mead? I don't know. But I learned that it was eventually a fight. What else? St. Patrick's Day, the other day, of course. Give us a cheer if you were drunk on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I actually only emerged about 5 minutes ago, and they told me I was comparing. So, happy days. So yeah, we'll get started shortly, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, there are just a few ground rules you have to remember. First of all, if you just turn off your mobile phones, if that's okay. If it does ring during the show, I will answer it. It will be your mother or father. I'm very, very charming. I will become the new favourite son, daughter, and or dog in the family. Second of all, if you just don't basically heckle the acts or talk to them, they're very shy zoo animals. They will run away, and we will never see them again. If you want to talk to someone, talk to me. Hey, it's kind of what I'm here for. And finally, we are actually filming this gig at the back there, so there's a camera. If you do need to leave at any point, if you could please just watch out for the camera and go out the side door there, because those doors, double doors, just they make a noise which is like a dying seagull just being stepped on. It's like I'll try to replicate it as sort of a kind of noise like that. During the break, if you want to try that out, just test those doors and then see how accurately it's sort of like that. So just listen out for that. But I'm about ready to crack on with our first act here, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think? So Rob, you've handed in your dissertation today. You're probably feeling very full of energy, full of beans, right?
Sort of, yes.
Sort of, yes. That's good enough for me. You're basically going to be our energy man for this first act, okay? So whenever I say, please welcome to the stage your first act, I want you to stand up and say, who's the first act? You do that for us, and then I'll say, Jack Maidment! And then everyone will go fucking mental, and we'll welcome to the stage our first act. So, you ready, Rob?
Yep.
Ready, Adventure Time, Rob?
Yeah.
This isn't too complicated for you, is it? Maybe, okay. Please welcome to the stage your first act!
Who's the first act?
Mr. Jack Maidment!
Yeah, I also do the sound for this, so it gets complicated. How are we doing? Feeling good? Awesome, awesome. Congratulations, Rob. I thought I'd just say. I also know him. Michael has a bigger impact though. Anyway, so I've been told by various people that I need to embrace a more healthy lifestyle. So that's why I made the decision to switch to strawberry-flavoured heroin. I mean, the great thing about strawberry-flavoured heroin is you will lose weight. Sweet, sweet heroin joke to start off with. But yeah, I've been kind of rethinking my sort of lifestyle choices in order to become a healthier and all-around better man. One of the things I do that people seem to disagree with is I smoke. I am a smoker. But it does annoy me when people say I shouldn't smoke. Now, I don't mind if it's friends or family, because it comes from a loving place most of the time, but complete strangers say this to me all the time. I was walking down the high street the other day, smoking a cigarette, and this man out of the blue, never met him before, just comes up to me and goes, "Oi! What are you doing?" I was just smoke coming out of my mouth, just picture that scene. "What are you doing? Don't you know you're endangering my life and everybody's life by smoking? God, you should be ashamed of yourself, sir, poisoning yourself with that shite!" He then walked into McDonald's, the socially acceptable form of killing yourself slowly. But yeah, like smoking, it's just something I do, it's something that happened to me. I quite enjoy it though. You call them cigarettes, I call them Mars bars for the lungs. I'd wish they'd put that on the packets instead of smoking kills. Probably sell a lot more, wouldn't they? Okay, so, but yeah, that alteration sort of like threw me off, like this is a stranger screaming at me, he didn't know me, he has no right to judge me, but maybe I thought to myself, maybe it's me, because I'm not a people person. Humanity is a concept I'm yet to grasp. And people say the weirdest shit that goes over my head, like, and usually these things are to do with sex or relationships. And one of the things people say is, I'm looking for the right person. Now, when people say that they're looking for the right person, what they actually mean is they're looking for a perfect person. So if you are out there, if you're a lonely heart like myself, and you're looking for the right person, stop. Nobody's perfect, you know. And I always thought that if I ever met someone who I genuinely thought was perfect, you know, through everybody in the world, and I met someone who I thought was perfect, my balls would explode. Just let it process. Have that in your head, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it doesn't even have to be in a sexual way. I can go into a job interview. Oh, Mr. Maidment, sit down. Oh. Yeah, it's, I'm just going to stay here for the rest of the set. This is comfy. No. Yeah, it's safe to say I didn't get that job. His office was a bit of a mess. Yeah, pieces of scrotum on the wall. I'm going to move on. But again, you know, say I'm in a club or a bar where I go to sometimes, and there's a lovely young lady, and we're getting on. And again, it'll probably be in mid-sentence if I discover that she's perfect. So I'm like, oh wow, we have so much in. I'm just going to spray you guys. We have so much in common. And the doctor's appointment is awkward afterwards as well. Mr. Maidment, here's where your testicles used to be. But they've got weight. Did you talk to a perfect person? Yeah. Yeah, I did, Doc. Yeah. And quit smoking. Oh. Call back. But yeah, again, like, sex always confuses me. It genuinely does. I had a charity like that one. I had a girlfriend once, many years ago. Well, about 2. I'm not that old. And she was a very kind of sexually active being, whereas I am not, unfortunately. You see, I like it as a concept or a theory, but there'd be other things that I'd rather be doing with my time, quite frankly. But she liked it, though, and one of the things that she used to be... Michael, stop laughing, you're throwing me off. One of the things she used to do was, she used to send sex, sort of like dirty texts to me. And I thought they were legitimate questions, okay? I didn't... Hey baby, how are you? Fine. Well, I'm looking for a big, strong man to come keep me company. Are you busy? Yeah, I'm playing FIFA. Yeah. I'm in Barcelona, Tom's Inter Milan, winning 4-2. You know, to get her all hot like. Yeah, didn't work. And then, but eventually, it would go on for a bit like that. And she kind of like broke down eventually because she was sick of speaking to me in sexual metaphors that I obviously wasn't getting. Okay, so I got a text from her saying, "Look, I kind of want to have sex, and then for reasons beyond anybody's knowledge, I decided to choose you as my partner. Will you come over and do the deed?" Thank you, you've been excellent. Good night.
Everyone wants one for Jack Maidment. Jack now was talking about relationships in a very sort of loose way, in that his balls exploded several times, which is fine. The society has a guy who just cleans them up now. But this is something I've been thinking about recently. See, I went through this recently, and there's something which has really been pissing me off, and that's this term, facey be official. Are we familiar with this? The relationship is not official until it's official on facey be. Alright? Or Facebook, if you will. I believe that's what Zuckerberg called it originally. Before the fans took the title off him. It's like, basically what you do is, if you like someone, okay? You have to go through the nerve-wracking, horrible, shitty process of getting up the courage and maybe getting a little bit drunk if you have to, and asking them out, okay? That's horrible for everyone. And then, about a month and a half later, you basically have to go through that process again, because Facebook and the social norms surrounding it say that you should. So it's like, oh, hi, sorry, I thought that, maybe, I thought, we hit it off the other night, so maybe just, do you want to come for a drink something? Yes, you do? Oh, brilliant, okay, I'll see you there. And things go well. Things go well for a month and a half. And then you have to do the entire fucking process again. Hi, yes, we've been seeing each other for a month and a half now. Things have been going well. Like, I think they've been going really well, and I feel really comfortable and happy with you, So I was just wondering if maybe, just maybe, do you wanna have like a thing on our fucking social media thing that says it's a little thing that says like your name's basically just on my profile, and people can go, oh, and like it, and then go, I'm really happy for you guys, I'm really happy that you finally found someone, and then it's on Facebook and it's Facey B official. Fuck that! I think we should stop Facebooking relationships in general. Boom. Social commentary. Planting the flag here today, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's the ranty wannabe Bill Hicks material out of the way. So I say maybe we should introduce our next act. What do we think? Who do we speak to in the first half? Where's Camille? Is Camille still at the back there? Hi. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So basically, you're going to be the new Rob. So when I say something along the lines of, time to introduce our new act, you're going to stand up and go, and who would that be? Alright? And then I'll say, David Duncan, and everyone will go mental for our next act. How does that sound? So I think it's about time we introduce our next act.
And who would that be?
Why? Thank you, Camille. It's Mr. David Duncan. Please welcome him to the stage.
Hello Lancaster, how are we? Good, good. Are we looking forward to Easter, going home for Easter? Less people, seemingly. I'm looking forward to going home for Easter, ladies and gentlemen, because I quite enjoy Easter, sometimes, occasionally. Basically, my parents decide to still make us hunt for Easter eggs out in the garden, but because me and my brother are now 21 and 19 respectively, it's become some kind of horrible chocolatey Highlander, which beats the shit out of each other in the search of delicious chocolate treats. Basically, so I'll be out in the garden looking. I was about to mine a microscope for some microscope. One of those big things that people look through. I'm very tired. Basically, looking, searching like a traveller down the Amazon for delicious chocolate. When suddenly my brother will just jump on my back and pin me to the floor on a Sunday. And we'll wrestle, and then realise that we're fighting for chocolate and none of it really matters. And then we forget my sister has just run out, and she's 17, she's stronger than both of us, so we're just going to shit. It's horrible. But basically, what I think we're going to talk about this week, what I'm going to talk about this week is skills, yeah? I think everybody's got skills, I clearly don't. I just told you a story about how I get frequently beaten up by people. I'm going to go back to the... hello, sir, what's your name? Hello, Chris, and what would you say that your special skill is? Nothing, Chris. Come on, Chris. What are you good at? Is there anything you're good at? Unless this is now just a therapy session for you. Come on.
He says growing a beard. I'm going with growing a beard.
Go with growing a beard. Is that a skill? In my terms, that's pretty much just standing still for a bit and letting your body do. I'll move on to someone else. Hello, Matt. What's your name?
Charity.
Hello, Charity. And what would you say your special skill is?
I make good sandwiches.
You seem so scared. Charity, it's fine. I'm sure the sandwiches are great. What's the best kind of sandwich you make? I'm not trying to bully you. So why do you enjoy BMT?
Because it used to be my favourite.
Used to?
Yeah.
Is there a twist in this tale? You work at Subway. And just how many BMTs do you make in a day? Well, maybe we can find Charity a better job on this kid. I'm thinking about, please do. Okay, if anyone's hiring. I've been thinking about skills recently because I was doing a gig last week, and before I went on, the Belly Dancing Society went on. Lou Bells, I believe they're called. They were very good, but my issue was, basically, when I was watching them, how do I sit? Because... you can't sit too forward, because then you're a pervert. And you can't sit too backwards, because again, you're a pervert. So I went for kind of a rigid mid-level thing. Horribly injuring my back, and then I thought, what do I do with my face? Do I smile? Clearly not that. Instead, I went for kind of just a stern, kind of unfeeling face, and I was like this. But then I thought, what of the belly dancer? What of the belly dancer that looks out into the crowd, doing the skill she's practiced so hard on, and then just sees just a horrible, taciturn man? What does she think I'm thinking? Well, you know, certainly moving. Hopefully they've not gone back to the belly dancing hideout, which I assume is a real thing that exists. And gone, oh, how was the gig? It was fine, except there was this horrible little man, like a stone statue who hated everyone. It wasn't the only act that was at this gig, though. There was a juggler as well. Now, the thing with jugglers is, like, it's one of those things, but I'm aware it's a skill. I'm aware you have to practice. Does not stop me getting very angry every time I see it. Because it just looks like you're letting gravity do all your work for you. But, oh, skills! Basically, it's that really shitty arcade game where you have to let like, the burger fall into your hand. That's all that juggling seems like it is to me. I really hope there's a juggler here who's going to fucking school me off this gig. I'll walk out, it'll be like a gangland-style movie, I'll be walking up by the bins and like, yo man! You juggle? I don't. No, I think juggling is one of those kind of circus skills. Yeah, one of those skills you do at the circus. Which the only reason I've been thinking of it is because recently I read in the news that the Ringling Brothers, the big circus people, are releasing all of their bears and their elephants from captivity. You know, because and on one level, kind of like animal cruelty level, that's great. But on the other level, those animals are not prepared for like being in the wild. They're entertainment bears. They've got shit all going on. All they've done for the last 20 years is smoke, drink, and then ride a tiny little bike around in a circle. Basically, what you're going to do when you go out to the woods today, you won't find a big surprise. You'll just find a bear just with a fucking raging hangover, jonesing for a cigarette, just like pouring sadly at like a salmon that just like was a bit too shiny. What's going to happen when like a hunter goes to them? Oh, like, all these hunters going along going, oh, I found a bear. Because it's can't fight back, it doesn't know how to fight back. Oh, it's riding away on a little bike. Hey, that's great. Oh, it's gone. So I suppose we're going to have to go outside and shoot one of those free-range clowns they've got going. That's right, guys. If you've got anything from this gig, just know that I advocated clown murder. I thought I would try and get my own skill. I'm relatively skilled, but I thought I'd try and get my own skill. I thought I'd try and be a better friend. Sounded like it was genuine, don't worry, there are jokes coming. No, I started to become a better friend. I started to start going back to clubs, which I'm sure all the young people do. I'm 21, what was I saying? But I've not been having the greatest time in clubs. I think I've been having my worst times in club toilets. Less harrowing than anything. I was in one of the clubs. I feel like Hustle was the name of it. One of them. And oh God, from a man in the crowd. Has something bad happened in Hustle? It is, isn't it? Bloody horrible. But I went to the toilet, and there was one of those toilet attendant men just stood there with his array of spices from the Orient. And I washed my hands, as you do, after you've gone to the toilet. And I went, oh, all right, mate, see you later. Don't know why I said that, I wasn't going to. But then he reached out, grabbed me by the scruff, genuinely by my neck, and then just whispered to me, hey, no Armani, no Punani. Was this a curse? I mean, because the language, it seemed like it, the language seemed ancient. Now, what's interesting about that joke is it joked both about sexism and curses. So really, I've done the best tonight out of anybody. The only other incident I had in a club toilet was I was in a club recently, it was a year ago. I was in Sugar. I was in Sugar and I looked miserable, because I was. And and a guy came up to me out of the toilet mist, and that might have been real. Came to me out of the toilet mist and just went, "Listen, mate, now clearly you're not having a very nice time. You're not always going to have a very nice time in these places, but you know, you're going to grow old. You're going to have to look back on these things and see what you think about it. So you know, just try and live life while you can, and hopefully you can look back on these days and smile." He turned away and I was like, "Oh, that's great, that's great." As he turned away, walked, pivoted, clicked his fingers, and then went, "Hey, no homo." No, mystery toilet man, no! Bad toilet man, you don't ruin lovely speeches with homophobia. That's not how they work. Abraham Lincoln didn't, in his big Gettysburg Address, go, 407 years ago, "Those gays, right?" No! Mahatma Gandhi, in his big Gandhi speech, didn't step out on stage and go, "Hey, what's up? Gandhi here. Gays." No! Well, I'm going to leave you, right, because I feel that bit was a little bit too negative. I'm going to leave you, right, because I've tried to, you know, learn my own skills. So what I've decided to do, right, what I've decided to do is just learn to juggle. Belly dancing? Anybody? No, I've been Dave Duncan. Bye.
Give it once more for Mr. Dave Duncan. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to take about a 15-20 minute break here before our next two acts. So go and get a drink, go to the bar, and get your seats, and we'll see you shortly. However, sorry, in the meantime, I'm going to go get some cups, because I've got to do this before I run on stage. And there's going to be little slits of paper in them and some pens, alright? And I want you, because it's dissertation and essay season, to write down any question that you feel like I should answer, okay? It can be your question, it can be anyone's question, it can be a question you come up with off the top of your little head. I will do my very best to answer it for you and clear it up, alright? So thank you very much, we'll see you shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage your compere for the evening, Mr. Michael Dodds.
Hello. Did we enjoy our break? Did someone just say quiet? So did anyone try out the door at the back and listen to the noise? Do we have any? Sorry, just Jack trying to cut me off right here. Do we have any volunteers to try and impersonate the door? The winner gets no prize. Alright, I'll just do it again then. We have a hand up there. Give that man a round of applause. Right, so before the break, I promised to answer some of your dissertation and essay questions. So I figured we'll just run through a few of these. Question number 1. Where do babies come from? No. When a mummy and a daddy love each other very much, okay? They have sexual intercourse, okay? And then the sperm fertilizes the egg, and then a child is born. That's the scientific answer. What do you want? What else did you want? not doing that one. There's always a few of them that you're just like, no, that's one for the back pocket. Question number 3. What did happen in Star Wars? I love the idea of that question's from someone who just watched Star Wars and was like, well, I'm completely lost. So I get the impression this guy in the massive suit of armour with the red sword, he's the good guy, right? I mean, he was the guy who came on first and choked that guy to death. And they blew up his massive space living room. Also, I love that as a dissertation. Was that yours, Rob? Was that your next dissertation time? What the fuck? That's another one on Star Wars. We're done with Star Wars themed questions. This one is just why. It's just why, written in big letters. Now, I am a philosophy student, which means I enjoy coming to university, pretending I'm smart for 3 years, and then having no job. 4 years, thank you, Jacob, for correcting me. Sorry, I was trying to build a relationship with people who don't know me, but that's okay. So I'm very used to that sort of thing. No real punchline there, except for unemployment, if that counts. Question number 5. What did Bono do on a Saturday? What Saturday in particular? Just any Saturday, one time, what did Bono do? I love the way I'm not really answering these questions, I'm more just deconstructing how stupid they are, but you know, what do you expect? Oh wow, this is quite a lot. Right. What do you get when you cross a joke in a rhetorical question? An audience member who's sitting there silently feeling very smug. That's what. Where do babies come from again? Shall I just repeat the answer? Sex, basically, that's where it comes from. Historically speaking. What is the airspeed velocity of an ungulating African swan? I love the way, like, whenever you're at a comedy gig, your own material gets less of a laugh than just a very well-known reference to classic British comedy that you read out and everyone's like, yes! Monty Python! And we'll do one more of these. What is the answer to section C? See, I'm hoping you haven't got those mixed up and it's not C-section. Because there is no answer except for just a bit of a troubled birth, really. Shall we do one more and hope that the mood picks up? What is the capital of Assyria? See, how do you get a dissertation's worth out of that? Do you just write the answer, which is what it is? Everyone knows it. Yeah, everyone knows what the capital of Assyria is. We're all educated. You know, we didn't waste our 4 years at uni. But you just write that 2,500 times or 10,000 times if it's a dissertation. Brilliant. So I think it's about time to welcome our third act of the evening. So, Adam, you as of yet have not asked who the next act is. So when I say, let me see, how do you put a bit of variation on this? When I say, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for the next act for the next time, okay? I want you to rudely interrupt with, about time, what's his name? Can you do that for us? And then I'll say Colley and everyone's going to go nuts, okay? So, I think it's about time for our next act.
About time. What's his name?
I'll tell you. Adam, security are on their way to remove you, you violent man. Please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ed Colley.
Hello, how are we doing? Are we good? Hi guys. I don't know if you've realised, but Sylvester Stallone isn't immortal. I know, right? I know. I've cued sad music at this point on purpose. Quentin Tarantino remembers. Now, I've realised that, yeah, but that means he can't keep making films forever. Unless society removes the social taboo on necro-puppetry. Now, I'm sure we've all, like all the other standards have done their 5 minutes on necro-puppetry, so I'll brush through this, right? But, I'm just saying, I could be the leader of this avant-garde movement. I own at least 2 rolls of string that could support a 100-kilogram man. But until that point, what I've decided to do to keep my favourite film series of all time going, the Rocky films, what I'm going to do is follow Sylvester Stallone everywhere with a camera, and then retroactively turn the footage into Rocky films. I know, it's a good idea, right? It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Of course, this is going to be quite good, because I imagine most of the footage will be him punching and kicking me for following him everywhere with a camera. But of course, so what I'm going to do is I've planned out the series, so you're going to have your sort of regular ones, it's going to be him sort of versing sort of a big bad, but obviously there's going to be like the special ones, like Rocky 15, Rocky in the Divorce Court. Fun fact, all of the footage from that one will be him prosecuting me for violating a restraining order. So that's how that one's going to come about. Or Rocky 2, this is going to be the spiritual successor to Rocky 4. You know the one where he single-handedly takes down the USSR? It's going to be Rocky 21. Rocky takes back the Ukraine. Essentially the film is that they erect a massive boxing ring around the Crimean Peninsula, right? And then they airdrop Sylvester Stallone into the centre of it just to sort the whole thing out. But of course I wanted to give this series like the justice it deserves and give it a fitting ending. So he's going to be in his 90s, he's going to be boxing all his life, someone will challenge to a match, a much younger, stronger man, and he's going to be knocked out. I'm not going to fall to the ground for that. And his bones will be dust. And it'll be black and blue, or white and gold, depending on your colour presentation. And at that point, you know, he'll be thinking of his kids, but he won't, because he'll be boxing, you know, there'll be the brain damage, of course, won't there? I know what you're thinking, ladies and gentlemen. I'm off to a rocky start. Go to the gym lately, so go to the gym. Smooth transition, smooth transition. Go to the gym lately. I'll go to the gym a bit later, because that's a different transition. I hate ducks, me, I hate ducks. Yeah, that's the transition, I hate ducks. I could do all that, oh, Sylvester Stallone, ducks and weave, ducks, yeah. Smooth as balls. Not mine, though. Yeah, hate ducks, absolutely hate them. To be honest, if you want to understand me, you have to understand my hatred of ducks, right? You have to do it. So basically, I base all of my life decisions around my hatred of ducks. For example, I eat a lot of bread. Easily more than average. Like, a loaf and a half a week. Like, that's quite a lot of bread. Like, they're not having it, right? It's mine. However, when I do go to duck ponds, what I like to do is throw miniature pancakes and packets of hoisin sauce at them, just to remind them of their inevitable fate. Second, of course, I went to university, I did, and I got myself a degree, and that was to get the intellectual superiority over a duck. You can't afford the £9 fees, can it? No. 2-1 to the edge. And third of all, in times of distress in my life, I will only ever read the first half of the story, The Ugly Duckling. I find it a great source of comfort and schadenfreude in times of trouble. Now, you might wonder, Ed, why are you so angry against ducks? And I think you'd hate ducks too if ducks had killed everyone you'd ever loved. They don't care, they don't care. It's like human tears off a murderous duck's back. See, for my money, that's the best joke you're going to find in the set. Human tears off a murderous duck's back. But, you know, you'll at least remember it. It's like, you didn't expect to hear that tonight. Sir, did you expect to hear the line, human tears off a murderous duck's back? Well, there we go. We've all done something tonight, haven't we? Yes, Mo, it was worth it. So I've been going to the gym lately. Yeah, I've been going to the gym, and I was in the changing rooms and I saw something a little bit strange. I'm not sure if any of you guys know what this is. Nipple cream? Give us a cheer if you know what nipple cream is. So, would you like to explain to the rest of the room what nipple cream is? Oh, in one. and it stops them from chafing, right? And okay, so there's this guy, and he sort of turned round to face the entire room with his bare chest. And he got out his tube, and he just put sort of 2 blobs on either side, right? And there's nothing inherently weird about that, right? But then what he did was he picked up his shirt, put it over the top of the 2 blobs, and then left the changing rooms. The nipple cream was seeping through, right? It looked as if 2 birds had flown over in formation and shat on him. Or at the very least, someone tried to shank him with Pritt stick. But it got me thinking, what is the right way to put on nipple cream? Is there a right way in public? So, for example, I came up with 2 theories. The first one is sort of like the conservative circle, right? You just keep that one going, and you just keep doing it until the blob's gone. Hello, sir. What's your name? Andrew. You're struggling to look at my face, Andrew, aren't you? It's very distracting, I know. It's almost hypnotic, would you say? Yeah, you're feeling sleepy, aren't you? Yeah, you're feeling sleepy. Give me your wallet. Now. Second theory I had to this would be to do it with as little time as possible. So you get the nipple cream on one side, and then on, off, right? The problem with that one is you end up with a nipple cream handprint left in the place of it. You know what I'm talking about, sir. So for my money, like going to the gym, it's just a really big hassle. So what I've been doing lately is I've been following this exercise DVD, The Karate Kid. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's sort of a daily regimen of sort of, painting fences, sanding wooden patios, punching through stray lumber. I'm not allowed in home base anymore. But, to be honest, I don't think I've learned that much karate. For example, I was back home like 2 weeks ago, and I was walking down this alley, and all of a sudden, like, these 2 mean bullies held me at knife point. Oh, sorry, forgot to mention, Knife Point. That's the name of the alley. Oh, I always leave that fact out of stories, and I think it colours people's interpretations of the stories I tell. For example, my dad, he taught me to ride a bike at knife point. I had my first kiss at knife point. And now I've been mugged at knife point. At knife point.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been lovely. I've been Ed Colley. Thank you. Good night. Give it up again for Mr. Ed Colley. Right, let's address the stage left, your right side of the essays. Question number 1. I want to know what love is. I hope you can show me. Are those the lyrics? I always thought it was I want you to show me. And I want you to... Whoever wrote this question, per effort, learn your fucking ballads, which I don't know the names of. How much wood would woodchuck chuck wood? Very good. Also, the person who wrote this question, can you verify this for me, madam? They wrote wood the wrong way before the last one, then crossed it out, and then wrote W-O-O-D. So it was spelled W-O-U-L-D. No, that's not right. Wood. 27 is the answer to that one. It's just the answer. Whenever someone asks you that question again, just say, it's 27. Some scientists did some tests. How... This is fucking brilliant. How parkour would a parkour be if a parkour did parkour in a park or parked with oars? I feel like someone in the audience is having a wee bit of indulgence here with an inside joke, but I don't even care, because that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever read. How parkour would a parkour be if a parkour did parkour in a park or parked with oars? Again, the answer is 27, sorry to disappoint you. Yes, I'm putting that in the personal pile for later. This one just is what is Dodds? Written in sinister kind of red pen. Dodds, my name, sir. I'm gonna... Who wrote this one? What is darts? I'm gonna answer what is darts. Ladies and gentlemen, please divert your attention to the well-lit board at the back of the room. The way it's actually lit as if this is like, oh! got bored. Darts is a game where a group of men get together, sometimes women, but rarely. Sorry, was that controversial and sexist? That was the most sexist thing I've ever said on stage. That was the most sexist thing I will ever say on stage. I've changed my word. Darts is a game where you get little bits of metal which are pointed, and you throw them at the board, and the person who drinks the most wins. Do a few more of these. I genuinely can't read this. What are the health miracles? The first 4 words are definitely what are the health, and then the last word is, it's like an MGKS. I don't know what that means. MGKS. I'm not going to answer that one because it makes no sense. Oh, I just keep getting the same ones from this person with the, why can't I control my bladder or bowels? Now, what they've done here is, this is the scribbler at work again, they've crossed out the question mark after bladder, and then it's an afterthought, they've gone, I may as well get 2 for 1 here. Bowels. I don't really know, I talked to your doctor about that one. I'm not a doctor. It's same guy, same red pen. So this person just came up here and wrote hundreds of questions. Can we control environmental pathogens? Now, this is a good one. First intelligent question I got all evening. Now, the answer is, honestly, I don't know. What is the Aryan philosophy of a fucking unnamed fucking Well done, everyone. We've seen Monty Python. Full caps, will you go out with me? Brackets, small caps, you're a sexy man. Well, I've never been asked out anonymously before, but the answer is yes. Let's do one more of these. Why isn't beard growing a skill? Now, I feel like I could go into this a fair bit, but I would basically be treading on our second act's toes because he did a very good joke on it. Basically, beard growing isn't a skill because I can't grow a proper one, and fuck everyone who can, basically. It's an argument mostly based on jealousy, I'm not going to lie, but there you have it, folks. So, I think it's time for our final act. What do we think? Now, this guy, he was in the society a number of years ago, whenever I was part of it. Still am. Just not some crazy man that'll up here occasionally. I am that, but I'm still in the society. This is a guy who has, he's only in England for a short while. He now resides in Taiwan. But would you please give a massive County Comedy Club welcome, and welcome back to the stage for the first time in nearly 2 years, Mr. Matty Delaney!
I don't know why, but some bloke keeps trying to kill me. Oh well. Wasn't my other, was it? Okay. Twat. Check it out, skills. So do you ever do that thing? Do you ever do that thing where you walk into a room? You walk into a room and you think you're the only person in the room, and you start doing something which is just not appropriate for other people to witness. You know, you do that thing, and then you realise, like, in the middle of doing that thing, that someone else is in the room, and then you're kind of like, smooth it out. You do that. You do that. You know what I'm talking about. So like typically, like, you walk into like a communal kitchen, and you'll be like, killing all the Jews in Egypt. And then you clock someone behind the fridge door and like, don't do that, because that's an atrocity. Right? Like just saw a musical the other day about Moses. Iffy lyrics, but catchy tunes. So it's great to be back at the CCC. It's changed a bit since I was last here. It used to be a KKK for dyslexics. Still full of white males, though, I see, so that's... Tell you a bit about myself. I'm from Liverpool. Yeah. I'm from Liverpool. Studied criminology. I'm a big fan of irony. So as Michael said, I've been living abroad for 1.5 years. I've been living in Taiwan, so that inevitably, obviously, that makes me better than all of you. 5.4% better than all of you, to be precise. It's true, there's a formula to this. It's the square root of time away in months over the distance from the UK in miles. Yeah, and I spent this afternoon looking that up on the laptop, so you better fucking laugh. So that's what I'm doing, but I'm not a pretentious twat. Right, I own one Hollister jumper, but it was a present, I swear. I was a gap year student before I came to university, but there is a distinction to be made between a gap year student and a gap year student, right? And I discovered this in my freshers week. I was in a kitchen, we were having a conversation. It became apparent that everyone in that room had taken a year out before they went to university. You know, and everyone was talking about what they were doing. One person had volunteered in a hospital in Tanzania. One person had helped set a school up in Sierra Leone. And then it came round to me. And they said, so what did you do on your gap year? I said, well, I like a lot of you. I spent my gap year helping the poor, the underprivileged, the destitute. They said, oh really? What did you do? I said, I was a sales assistant in Primark. All the things I've seen. I've been in and out the stockroom. But I think it was on women's denim where I truly found myself. I was in Primark, I was working in Primark, and I was a supervisor on the men's department for a little while, and one of my duties was at the end of the day, I had to check the fitting rooms. Now, one particularly harrowing evening, I pulled the curtain back, and let's not dress it up, male ejaculate was drooling down the mirror. Now that's as narcissistic as it is perverted, isn't it? Because what that implies is someone's gone in and they've gone, I'll tell you what, Brian, you're looking banging in that shorts and t-shirt combo. I don't think I'm going to be able to appreciate this on a purely visual aesthetic level. So that was fun. So I was talking about, I said I'm from Liverpool. I'm technically not, I'm technically from just outside. I'm from a place called the Wirral. Someone wants to take back that respect now. Because we've got a bit of a softer accent, one of the things that people from Liverpool call us is posh scousers. Posh scousers. Now that's an oxymoron, isn't it? I put it right up there, a stripper's dressing room. Outstanding finds. How do you get that? I worked out, all it means, all posh scouser, all that means is you do shoplifting at Waitrose. That's it. Just in your hoodie, go quail egging on Halloween. That's pretty much what you do. So as a result, people have a hard time, people always want to put you in a box, don't they, with your social class, and people always are confused by me. A lot of people think I'm very working class because of my accents, and I like to use a lot of slang and swear a lot. A lot of other people perceive me as being middle class because I've been to university. No, a real one, I'll keep going. I've been to university, I've got a good vocabulary, I've tried hummus. Love the hummus, love it. Until I came to uni and met proper middle class people, I didn't know there was so many different types of hummus. I always used to think it just came in beige flavour. The stuff I had as a kid used to double up as grouting in our house. Tiles, odd jobs, But love the hummus. One food I fucking hate though, it's disgusting and it's just inexcusable, and that's tuna. Right? I hate tuna. You know when someone's talking to you, and they've had tuna, you're not listening to a word they're saying, are you? You just go, and all in your head you're just thinking, get out of my face, you fish fuck. There's nothing in the world that tastes that good that justifies smelling that bad. I'm sorry. I think we need to implement a law in this country, right? I think we need to legalise weed and ban tuna. Legalise weed, ban tuna, that's what I want to see. I want to be in that world. I want to be in the world where people are on the street corners going, "You want some John West, mate? You want some John West?" Queuing up outside Sugar House. What's that? Someone's had a sarnie. Students going, "You come round ours Tuesday night, we're making fish cakes, it's going to be mental." That's the world I want to see. But yeah, I was talking about class earlier. You know, I was always in between, that kid in between in school as well. I was never one of those posh kids, you know, those posh kids in school who walk around with that false sense of entitlement and they'd go around saying things like, "Do you know who my father is?" But I was also never one of the kids who had to ask their mum the same question. No, that's unfair, isn't it? Because Prince Harry, he's loaded. I'm not being funny, Susan Boyle's got more chance of being his dad. But, no, I think we should get rid of the royal family, I do, I really do. I think we should put the Queen in a council flat in Morecambe. That's what I think. Right? She's lived her entire life sheltered, living in luxury. She needs to spend the remaining years seeing some serious shit, as far as I'm concerned. I want to clock her on a miserable Tuesday in Aldi. Alright, Liz? That's just chicken. I don't think they do pheasant. That's Phil. Yeah? Still making the pop-up of the jokes, yeah? Cool. So, yeah. And we get rid of it, but like, whatever argument you put forward against the royal family, you can say, you know, it's fundamentally undemocratic. It's based on this archaic notion of divine right of kings. They live freely off the state, whereas if the common man does that, they're vilified and held up in the press and used to stigmatise the disabled and the unemployed. Right? Whatever argument you put forward, it doesn't matter to a royalist, because all they apparently need to say to nullify all of that and blow it all out of the water is, "Yeah, but tourism." I'll just take my well-reasoned argument and cram it on my arse, shall I? But no, I actually think we'd get more tourists in if we got rid of the Queen. I think all the royalists would flock to Morecambe for a start. I'm backing you, Morecambe tourist board. I got your back, man. And they'd all flock there. But also, you could have use the Buckingham Palace as a museum, and you could have tour guides around, and this is where the Brits were royally fucked for millennia. And also everything to do with the Queen would increase in value. It's like when a music artist dies, right? I'm not saying kill her. She'll cease to exist as Queen. But when a music artist dies, right, their value skyrockets, doesn't it? The value skyrockets. So everything to do with the Queen is worth so much more. And like with great music artists when they die, we can showcase all of the Queen's greatest hits. Although it would be a controversial move, digging up the corpses of Dodie Alfide and Princess Diana. But that's me. Fuck the royal family, tax dodging inbreds, legalise weed, ban tuna, take care of yourselves, great to be back, cheers.
Yeah, a massive round of applause for Matty Delaney. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's just about the end of our show for tonight and for the term, sadly. So, yes, thank you very much for your attendance tonight, and indeed this term will be back same time, same place, week 2 next term. Let's have a round of applause for all the acts you saw tonight. First of all, we had, who was on first? Jack Maidment. Then you had Duncan. Then Colley. And finally, giving us a round of applause for Matty Delaney. Thank you very much. I've been Michael Dodds. Thank you for coming along and supporting live free streaming comedy. Thank you.
Legalise weed, ban tuna, that's what I want to see. I want to be in that world. I want to be in the world where people are on the street corners going, "You want some John West, mate? You want some John West?" Queuing up outside Sugar House. What's that? Someone's had a sarnie. Students going, "You come round ours Tuesday night, we're making fish cakes, it's going to be mental." That's the world I want to see. But yeah, I was talking about class earlier. You know, I was always in between, that kid in between in school as well. I was never one of those posh kids, you know, those posh kids in school who walk around with that false sense of entitlement and they go around saying things like, "Do you know who my father is?" But I was also never one of the kids who had to ask their mum the same question. No, that's unfair, isn't it? Because Prince Harry, he's loaded. I'm not being funny. Susan Boyle's got more chance of being his dad. But I think we should get rid of the royal family. I do. I really do. I think we should put the Queen in a council flat in Morecambe. That's what I think. Right? She's lived her entire life sheltered, living in luxury. She needs to spend the remaining years seeing some serious shit, as far as I'm concerned. I want to clock her on a miserable Tuesday in Aldi. All right, Liz. That's just chicken. I don't think they do pheasant. That's Phil. Yeah. I'm still making the cockle for the jokes. Yeah. Cool. So yeah. And we get rid of it, but like, whatever argument you put forward against the royal family, you can say, you know, it's fundamentally undemocratic. It's based on this archaic notion of divine right of kings. You know, they live freely off the state, whereas if the common man does that, they're vilified and held up in the press and used to stigmatise the disabled and the unemployed. Right? Whatever argument you put forward, it doesn't matter to a royalist, because all they apparently need to say to nullify all of that and blow it all out of the water is, yeah, but tourism. I'll just take my well-reasoned argument and cram it up my arse, shall I? But no, I actually think we'd get more tourists in if we got rid of the Queen. I think all the royalists would flock to Morecambe for a start. I'm backing you Morecambe tourist board, I got your back, man. And they'd all flock there. But also you could have use the Buckingham Palace as a museum, and you could have tour guides and this is where the Brits were royally fucked for millennia. Haha. And also everything to do with the Queen would increase in value. It's like when a music artist dies, right? I'm not saying kill her. She'll cease to exist as Queen, but when a music artist dies, right, their value skyrockets, doesn't it? The value skyrockets. So everything to do with the Queen is worth so much more. And like with great music artists when they die, we can showcase all of the Queen's greatest hits. Although it would be a controversial move, digging up the corpses of Dodie Alfayed and Princess Diana. But that's me. For the royal family, tax dodging inbreds, legalise weed ban tuna, take care of yourselves, great to be back, cheers. Give a massive round of applause for Matty Delaney.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's just about the end of our show for tonight and for the term, sadly. So, yes, thank you very much for your attendance tonight, and indeed this term will be back same time, same place, week 2 next term. Let's have a round of applause for all the acts you saw tonight. First of all, we had, who was on first? Jack Maidment. Then you had Duncan, Colley, and finally give a massive round of applause for Matty Delaney. Thank you very much. I've been Michael Dodds. Thank you for coming on and supporting live free stream comedy. Thank you.